Hello there, it's Kennedy from ResponseSuite. Let me take you inside the application to show you what all of the fuss is about. So from your dashboard here, which by the way, you'll see you can upload your profile picture, make it really personal. You can reorganize all of these lovely elements so you can have all the different things exactly where you want them to be, so you can keep an eye on all of your key statistics the way that us professional marketers like to do. So with that all in mind, the main thing we want to do is start creating a survey. So let's look at how easy it is to do that. Over at the surveys area, I'm going to click create, and we've got three options. The first is to create a survey from scratch, which is exactly what we'll be doing in a few moments, or you can duplicate one of your existing surveys. For example, if you've already labored and spent some time making the perfect looking survey that's really on brand for you, is working really well for you, you really like it, you could use that as the basis of a new survey. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll also be introducing some fabulous templates that you'll be able to use as the basis of your own surveys. But for now, we're going to create a brand new survey from scratch. So we're going to give it a survey name and an internal description for my own reference so I know what on earth I made the survey about. And then what you're about to see is not a time lapse. I'm going to create the survey, I'll click the button, just look at how quickly ResponseSuite creates a brand new survey. Here we go, watch it. Boom, just like that. The reason it's so fast is because we are hosting ResponseSuite on a premium Amazon server, which means there's no delay, it just gets on with it, making sure that you can save some time and get into doing the things you really want to do. So, let's actually build a survey. First thing you want to do is take a look at this header area. You can put this title in up here, so something like that. Let's get rid of that. Boom, just like that. Really quick. And now we can start dropping elements, survey elements, into the main area itself. It's drag and drop, it's really fast. Let's do it. And now, because we've got the question in, we need to add some answers in. So let's try this. Add another one. So now, that was easy, wasn't it? Okay, so now we're going to ask another question. Why not ask... This is going to be a key question. This is going to tell me everything I need to know about how I can help this person so I can find the perfect product that I can put in front of them. So let's give them some options based on products that I might have. So let's do this. That's one option. And here's another. So now you've got some really interesting questions. Let's also find out a bit about the person themselves. So let's get a new question in. And we'll even put a little headline in the middle of here. Drop in a text area. And now, so we can follow up with them, we're also going to ask, what is your email address? And then put an email field in there too, so we can get in touch with them. So we've got a very simple, very basic survey. This is just a sample, but I'm sure you can already begin to see the possibilities with this. With any of these, you can make an answer required. So for example, I really want their email address, so I'm going to make sure that the answer is required. There you go. I'm also going to make that data sensitive so nobody else can see it and it becomes unreadable even to ResponseSuite support staff. And we'll do the same thing with the person's name. We'll make it required and we'll tell the system that it's a sensitive piece of data. This is particularly useful to help you with your GDPR compliance if that's something that you are working with. All right, moving on, let's see what we can do next in the settings area. So this is where we get to rename the survey if we have forgotten. So maybe I'll make this my Internet Marketing Research Survey. And what do I want this to look like in the actual browser tab itself? Fabulous. All right. So now we get onto the sharing settings. Let's go save and next. And now we have various ways of sharing your survey. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch the survey on so we can actually see it. And that means if we open up this, I'm going to just save it. And this is what the survey will look like. It looks pretty smart, doesn't it? Or if you want to make a more friendly URL, so I can put in something like I am research. I'm going to just save that, and then I'm going to be able to open that up, and then that's a much more friendly URL for people to see. Nice. But that's not it, because the real secret sauce of ResponseSuite is back here on the settings page, and I can't wait to share this with you. There are two massive features which make a huge difference, and these are the founding features of the entire platform. So the first one is redirections. So what do you want to happen once somebody has completed your survey? Do you want them to stay on the survey page and have a little message pop up that says, hey, thank you for completing the survey? That's option one. The second option is that we can send them to a new page, which is the standard thank you page that doesn't have the survey on it, but now just says, thank you for completing the survey. The third option is that you can send them to your own URL. Maybe you have your own thank you page. Maybe after completing the survey, you want to make a one-time offer to them. So maybe you'll send them to somewhere like mywebsite.com/OTO. So right there, after someone's just given you information, they've told you what they want, you can now make an offer right to them. Really successful campaigns have relied on that exact principle. And if you think that's amazing, wait till you see what you can do with this beautiful feature that we invented called Smart URLs. So with Smart URLs, you can select any question, which is a single choice question, like a radio button question, and you can send people to a different thank you URL depending on their answer to your question. So for example, we had a question in our survey called, what do you need help with right now? So imagine if they chose the option of finding a profitable niche, you could send them to yourwebsite.com/niche, where you might have a video or a sales letter for a specific product you have, which is all about finding a profitable niche. Whereas you might also have a product about traffic. So if they choose that they need the most help with traffic, you can send them to the sales page about traffic. And the same thing about finding an offer, and the same thing about making more money from their existing subscribers. Now, of course, these pages you send people to don't just have to be your own pages. If you do any affiliate marketing, you could take them to an affiliate page. It could be literally anywhere. And it's all based on their answer to that question, which means you're going to present them with an offer that's exactly addressing what they're looking for right now. This is huge, and it's a total game changer in online marketing. And the next feature I want to share with you is yet another game changer, and that is our integrations. We natively integrate with MailChimp, GetResponse, and Aweber. But if you, like me, don't use any of those platforms, don't worry, because we have a catch-all custom HTML option, which I'll show you in just a moment's time. But let me show you how easy it is for you to take people who've completed your survey and automatically put them onto your correct mailing list for that option. So I'm going to click on MailChimp. I'm going to ask it to fetch the lists from my MailChimp account. Here are 3 different things. We just created these as samples. I'm going to switch these 3 lists on. I'm going to get the fields, and as quick as that, all I'm going to do here is pair up the fields. So the email address, well, it's an email field. I've told it that. So email address in MailChimp, that's going to be our email field right there inside of ResponseSuite. First name, I'm going to put this text one here, and because I didn't put a last name, I'm going to use the same text field just there as well. All right, so again, for this list, which we just created as a sample, we're going to put this text one and this text one. And again on this one, this text one and that text one. Usually you'd make sure you create the correct fields in ResponseSuite that match up to fields inside of your MailChimp in this example, or whatever autoresponder you're using. Then you're going to tell ResponseSuite, when do you want to put people onto this list? I want to put people onto this list if they choose they've been in internet marketing, online marketing for 0 to 1 years. That might be your 0 to 1 year list. I'm going to put them on this list if they've been in internet marketing for 2 to 5 years. And I'm going to put them on this list if they've been in internet marketing for 6 to 10 years. So now, depending on what people's options are and what their opinions are inside of your survey, they'll be put onto a different list inside of your autoresponder, which means you can follow up with them with the exact message they need to hear. But let's say you don't use MailChimp, you don't use Aweber, you don't use GetResponse. Don't worry. First of all, we are rolling out brand new custom API integrations every single week almost, it seems, going forward. However, it doesn't matter because I don't use any of those either, and I'm having great success with ResponseSuite. Let me show you how. I'm going to remove this integration. We have something called custom HTML. I use Infusionsoft. All I'm going to do exactly the same thing is grab some HTML form code. All I'm going to do is go into Infusionsoft and paste the form code from my campaign into here. And then I'm going to do it again and again and again. I'll be able to do exactly the same thing I just did in MailChimp, sending people through different forms onto different lists, depending on their options that they choose in their ResponseSuite survey, and I'll be able to do it all. So regardless of which autoresponder you use, you'll be able to use ResponseSuite to automatically place people on a specific list depending on their responses to your survey. It's incredible. Of course, since you're running surveys, you may very well want to run reports to find out and measure the feedback you got from those surveys. So of course, we've gone ahead and built a report builder for you. Let me show you. Inside a report, we're going to create a brand new report. We're going to give my report a name, an internal description, and tell it which survey we're going to report on. So let's do the Internet Marketing Research Survey we just worked on, and click Create Report. Inside again, you'll recognize this. It works on the same principle as the survey builder. You can put headlines in, you can put body text in, all of these things, but you also can drag in reports. So you can put in a line area graph, you can bring in a bar graph, you can build a pie chart, all to report on the data you collect from your surveys. But maybe you don't want them to look exactly like this. Maybe this looks a little wide for you. So I'm going to just adjust this to 2 columns, and doesn't that look amazing? Look at that. And you can start building these things out and building your custom reports that then you can name and very easily share. Just like that. Of course, this one doesn't have any data in because we just created it, but just for example, and just like you could with the survey, you can create your own custom link URL, friendly URL, to make it look a little bit more attractive. Just like that. And there it is. So building reports, really easy. No need to download all your data anymore, upload it into something else and try and figure out how report building works in the likes of Excel and stuff. It's all taken care of right inside of ResponseSuite for you. This is just the tip of the iceberg of all of the things that you're going to be able to do with segmenting people correctly, showing them bespoke custom offers depending on their responses to the survey that you've created. As you can see, ResponseSuite is an incredible tool that totally overhauls, revolutionizes the way you generate leads and engage your existing people.